Welcome to Ball. Hope everybody's doing okay. Christina, do we have a new board member?
We do. Ken in Kingsport. Ken, would you like to introduce yourself to everybody if you don't know Ken?
Sure, I know some of you on here, but my name is Ken Weems. I'm the planning manager for the city of Kingsport. And, Mark Haga, he left, it seems like years ago, but I guess it was towards the, early part of this year or late last year. And we've been taking over his responsibilities, between myself and KHRA, trying to, tag team everything that he used to do. And so I'm a little green, but ready to move forward and keep learning.
Welcome, Ken.
Thank you.
And I've been on this a couple of years, and I learn something new every time I come. So.
Yes. Good deal.
Good to see you.
Good to see you all too.
So Christina can I ask you, is Danielle on the line?
She is not.
Okay. We have on our agenda to do roll call. I don't know if we need to do an actual roll call, and I don't have everybody's name listed, or if you're saying everybody's here, so I'm assuming that's okay. Is that good?
I'll do it, and I'm happy to do it if that's okay.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. So Chairman Chad Keene.
Here.
Sherry Green.
Here.
Amber Torbett.
Here.
Ellen Tolton. Stephen Freeman. Stephen, are you on? I see you.
He might be muted.
He's having mic issues, he says.
Oh, gosh. Okay, well.
He's here.
We have a message that says he's here, though.
Okay, great. Ken Weems.
Here.
And then Mayor Wells. Okay.
Okay, so on our agenda also is to talk about the necessity for conducting our electronic meeting, and everyone I'm sure has been doing a lot of these types of meetings. And is there anyone who objects to doing an electronic meeting as we are right now?
And if it's okay with you, Chad, we'll read this too. Do you want to read what's on the screen, and we read it out loud?
You read it out.
Okay, so Governor Lee's Executive Order number 16, which has been extended through August 29, 2020 by Executive Order numbers 34 and 51, suspended the provisions of the Open Meetings Act to the extent necessary to allow governing bodies to conduct their essential business by electronic means, rather than being required to gather a quorum of members physically in the same location. The governing body should make a determination that meeting electronically is necessary to protect the health, safety, and welfare of Tennesseans in light of the COVID-19 outbreak. At this time, it would be appropriate for the members to discuss whether they believe that meeting electronically is necessary and vote accordingly. If the members do not agree that the meeting electronically is appropriate at this time, then the meeting should be adjourned until such time as the members can meet in person. So I will again vote by roll call. Okay. Chairman Chad Keene.
Yes.
Sherry Green.
Yes.
Amber Torbett.
Yes.
Stephen Freeman. Stephen, can you talk to us yet? Can you write something in?
He said yes.
He said yes. Perfect. Okay. And Ken Weems.
Yeah.
That is everyone that is here, and that would be our quorum, Chairman.
Okay, sounds good. We kind of talked about meeting electronically last week, towards the end of the week, and initially we thought let's wait until Monday, or I was thinking wait till Monday to see how many cases come about in Sullivan County and Washington County, and really the entire area, Virginia as well. And we just kind of decided on Thursday to make the decision to go ahead and do it by electronic means, and I appreciate everybody bearing with us during these times. Next thing on our agenda is the approval of the minutes from January 14th, 2020. Is there any changes or corrections on that? Having heard none, could we get a motion to approve the minutes as written?
So moved. Amber Torbett.
Thank you.
And can we get a second? I will second that. I believe I can second that, can I, Christina? I don't know.
Sure.
Okay, I'll second it. Now, do you need a roll call vote on that, or do you want to just aye?
Yeah, I was just going to do a roll call vote again.
Okay, roll call.
All right, Chairman King,
Yes.
Sherry Green.
Yes, but I was absent from that meeting, so I'm assuming it's all correct.
Thank you. Amber Torbett,
Yes.
Stephen Freeman. Yes, okay. And Ken Weems?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right.
Okay, next on our agenda is the status of projects, and I think we have listed Bill and Renee to go through that with us, and anybody else.
Okay, if you don't mind, I'll start. I believe you each have a copy of the report for this quarter's activity. On the front, the funds available, they're actually shown homeownership and home rehab, and these amounts include the most recent allocations from HUD. So that's the reason why some of the numbers are a little higher. The next section below that is the CHODO set aside funding. We did award the 2018 funds to Eastern 8, and then the 2019 funds to People Incorporated on their project, which is yet to be, the specifics have yet to be finalized on that. And then again, it shows the 2020 allocation for the CHODO funds and the total. As far as activity this past quarter, we've had 3 homeownership projects funded. We received payoff on 2. There's only 1 listed here, but the one under Kingsport, payoff pending. We actually received that yesterday afternoon. So as far as rehabs, we concluded the final 2 Kingsport projects. So we ended up doing 4 completions on rehabs this past year. CHODO, for the Eastern 8 project, we are currently working on the environmental assessment. And then the People's Inc., we just begin the initial stages of the environmental assessment, waiting confirmation on whether or not that project is going to go through. As far as other activity, we've been going through all of our old files that we have and preparing release deeds on those that are due. So these numbers, especially the higher ones, are the ones that we have sent to Christina to get the city manager's signature on. When the COVID situation improves, what we'll be doing is hopefully sending these signed release deeds to each of the individual communities with a sign-up sheet and contact information, so these homeowners can be contacted to come and pick up these release deeds and record them. So that's been a major part of this last quarter as well. As far as the next couple of pages that lists the applications that we have currently on file, it's kind of like our waiting list, so to speak. We have received several more new applications, so some of these lists have grown. We are currently working on environmental reviews under Bluff City. We've got a couple slated for Bristol, Tennessee, a reconstruct for Bristol, Virginia. We just signed contracts last Friday on 2 Johnson City Consortium projects, and we will be continuing down the list to work on environmental reviews for those. Kingsport, we also have 3 that we're looking on doing environmental reviews on. Sullivan County, we've got 3 that we're working on. Washington County, we've got 3 that we're working on, and then of course the CHODOs. And that's about it as far as update on our progress this last quarter.
Okay, is there any other business we need to discuss, and any discussion on this in general?
Mr. Chairman, let me just add to that, you know, we're going to try to get projects out as soon as possible. We have been told by contractors that materials are becoming hard to come by, and also materials have increased in cost due to the COVID situation. But it is our plan to try to get those out on the street as quickly as possible and hopefully do those as efficiently as possible.
For my own purpose, I did talk to a window guy, and they are really backed up, and they said everybody is remodeling right now.
Exactly. Yes,
Good for the economy, but tough for our projects.
that's correct.
What else do we need to talk about?
You want to move on to old business?
Well, that's next on our agenda. We'll go to Christina Blevins for that, if nothing else on the status of projects.
Thank you. I just wanted to discuss really quick the Eastern 8 purchase of Horizon Community Development Corporation. We have talked about this on and off for the last year or so. Initially, I was under the impression that our covenants say that if an organization is changes its name or is sold, then we would have to basically agree to give the other nonprofit or the community development organization the okay to have the projects that we've done with home funds. I've talked with Danielle Smith, who's our city attorney, at length about this, and Eastern 8, Sherry sent us a letter, and as you guys know, considering that they have actually accumulated all of Horizon. They did not change the Horizon name. It is a subsidy now of Eastern 8, which did happen or was to happen on April 1st. There was really nothing that we needed to do about that. So all the contracts that we have in place currently with Horizon will stay as is. So I know that's a little confusing. It was kind of confusing for me, but I guess in the grand scheme of things, everything is fine and we didn't have to take any action. So I just wanted to bring you guys up to date on that. The second thing is, you know, we approved back in the January meeting to give People Incorporated the part of our CHOTO funding pending project approval. They came to me with a project at 1308 Texas Avenue. However, in light of today, I was going to go ahead and get your approval, but in light of everything last week, they decided that they need an extension to decide if that actually is the property that they want to work on. So we have, and I hope it's okay with you guys, we have given them one more extension to bring us a budget, a project, ownership of the property. So they will have until our next meeting to get me something to the end of September, and then I'll present to you in October. And then after that, I think that we have been very kind and patient with them. But if they don't have a project, you know, I'm not afraid to go ahead and say that I think we need to think about reallocating those funds. We don't have to do anything right now, but I just wanted you guys to be aware of that. We actually started this process with them last fall, and we asked for the project before the January meeting. We asked for it before April, and now here we are in July without the project. So I just want to get those funds spent as quickly as possible. So that's where we are at that. Also, lastly, we have also discussed the 2020-2024 consolidated plan with HUD. I am happy to tell you that I have finished my portion of this consolidated plan. And Kingsport and Johnson City are also working on their portions of the plan. We will have a public hearing at the Bristol, Tennessee Council meeting on August the 4th, which will open up a 30-day public comment period. So I'd like to have it submitted to HUD in September. And I will send to you for your review the full consolidated plan. It's about 250 pages once Kingsport and Johnson City are complete with their portions. I just wanted to kind of give you the heads up that that's where we are with that. I'd like to thank Stephen too. He's helping me present at a continuum of care meeting today, our priorities. So thank you for doing that, Stephen. The consolidated plan includes everybody's 1-year action plan, and then also everybody will have their own public meetings and their public comment period. So if there's any questions about that, you guys know you're always welcome to reach out to me. Okay, that's all I have on old business.
Okay, next on our agenda is new business.
New business, okay. So Eastern 8's project was approved also in our January meeting. We are still finalizing contracts with them because we need to finish the environmental review before we can sign the contract. We had talked about giving them a full year to do the work on the Kingsport project. However, Sherry Trent has reached out to First Tennessee Development District and myself and has asked for a safety net of basically an 18 months, us to give them an extension instead of the 12 months for it and 18 months of the project. So I will need approval from you guys that that's okay. I think she's just trying to give herself some extra time in case that's needed. Renee or Bill, do y'all want to say anything on that?
I would say from my standpoint, I can understand why she needs an extension. And also there, you know, based on what I'd said before, with the situation that we have right now with the COVID and the materials and everything else, it makes sense.
Okay, if you guys are okay with that, Chairman King will need a motion, a second, and we'll do roll call again.
Okay, so this is the timeline extension to 12 to 18 months for the CHODO.
Correct.
Okay, so can we get a motion?
Anybody?
Okay, I guess I can make a motion to approve the extension on the timeline for the CHODO project. Can we get a second?
I'll
I'll
second. That motion.
second.
Sorry.
Oh, go ahead, Sherry.
Either one.
Okay,
Okay.
Sherry, we'll count you, Sherry, a second.
Okay.
And can we do a roll call?
Chairman King,
Yes.
Sherry Green,
Yes.
Amber Torbett,
Yes.
Stephen Freeman.
Yes.
Oh, Stephen's on. Great. Ken Weems.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much. Second item is, or third, second, I should say, on this portion is the approval of First Tennessee Development District's administration contract. As you guys know, Bristol, Tennessee is lead entity, but we have a contract with the Development District to help us administer this home program, and we are very lucky to have their help. Thank you guys in advance. It is time for us to, again, go ahead and approve the contract that we do every couple of years. The contract is basically the same as it has always been. Our attorneys and the Development District have formulated and worked out and everything. I think there's several very minor changes, but costs are all the same, reasonable responsibilities, scope of services. And basically, I did email you guys the whole contract for review. Were there any questions or you guys want to ask anything? Okay, then if we can go ahead and make a motion, a second, and we'll roll call this too, that would be excellent.
Okay, so can we get a motion for the approval of 3-year First Tennessee Development District administrative contract?
I'll make that motion.
And do we have a second?
I'll second that motion.
Okay, any further discussion or questions? I think we're ready for a roll call.
Okay, Chairman King,
Yes.
Barry Green,
Yes.
Amber Torbett,
Yes.
Stephen Freeman,
Yes.
and Ken Weems.
Yes.
Great. We are moving along today, everybody. Thank you so much. All right, last thing under new business, I was just going to talk about the release deeds that Renee mentioned earlier in the FTDD report. First of all, I want to thank Renee and her staff because these release deeds, guys, were long overdue. There's some that should have been released many years ago. And in each of the communities, there's at least 10 to 40 release deeds that they've gone through all of our files and determined who needs to have that done. So I just want to thank her for that and her time. I mean, I know that's your job, but it hadn't been done in a long time and it really needed to be done. So thank you, Renee and Bill. Okay, that's all I have.
Okay, any further new business that needs to be discussed? Okay, it looks as though we've got our next board meeting October 13th at 10 a.m. Hopefully we'll be able to meet in person. Is there any further announcements or anything that anybody wants to discuss?
Real quick, I completely wanted to tell you guys, we did receive the ARCH, Appalachian Regional Coalition on Homelessness 2020 point in time count. We've talked about this too in our meetings, basically talking about homeless in our region. And just to give you guys a quick, Bristol was up at 103, Kingsport was up at 160, and Johnson City remained about the same at 96. They had the counties there too. So in the Tennessee 1st Congressional District, we had about 394 homeless, which is an increase. And you guys will see, and this is not new news, we will be addressing the homelessness issue more in the comprehensive plan and how we can help with that. But I just wanted to let you know that those numbers are out.
Christina, I never heard how it went when you actually went out in the field and helped collect data with them.
Yeah, it was a really interesting experience. I'm glad that I did it. I learned a lot from it. And, you know, I think ARCH was going to be able to help a lot of people that they talked to that day. But it's sad out there. It's sad. And it's getting worse, and we're going to really have to discuss it. I know people don't like to talk about it. You know, homelessness doesn't make them comfortable, but in light of COVID-19, I can only see those numbers continuing to rise.
Mr. Chairman, I would just like to say before we adjourn that the Development District, we just appreciate the opportunity and look forward to working with the consortium in the future. It's a pleasure to work for the consortium and to help folks in our region. So thank you.
Thank you. I feel like I don't do anything except show up to meetings and vote on things because you all and Christina have everything so organized, and I appreciate it.
Well, thank you. And Christina, we appreciate you as well. I mean, we couldn't do this without you. So thank you.
Oh, stop.
No, seriously, I'm dead serious. We do. We appreciate all you help us with. So
Thank you.
Okay, anything else we need to talk about as far as announcements goes or discussion on any items? Well, with that, I'm going to adjourn our meeting and look forward to seeing you guys hopefully in person on October 13th.